Good evening, everybody. It's Chad from Colorado Giants. Today is Tuesday, August 4th. So, yes, it is time for your weekly update. Stay tuned. So, I just want to hit you with a quick make sure that you subscribe statement. So, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. It's questionable if we'll hit that. We're hoping next year, but help us get a head start now so you can see when we really get some Giants going next year. Today's video is going to be a little bit longer. I've had a few questions over the last few videos that I want to answer today. So instead of like 10 minutes or so, strap in for like a 15-minute video, but I'll use the pause button so I won't have to fill a lot of dead time. So let's get right to it. So we're over here in the watering section, and I've had a few questions on what I fertilize with and how I fertilize. And I find the easiest way is I have a schedule that I printed out with the help of Ron Wallace, helped me come up with this. Don Barron had a lot of input, so you can kind of see my rotation of fertilizers there. Some are every 7 days, some are every 10 days. There's usually measurements on there because typically in the morning time I'm kind of in a hurry, so I'm trying to just simplify my life as much as possible. My primary fertilizers are the General Growth products. All of these you can buy on WallaceWow.com. The Ron Wallace products are, fantastic. I'm using what I have left of Photosynthesis Plus because I have it, and Mark Special T. One thing that I have been using a lot this year is Ruby Fuel from New Millennium. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm also a big fan of Neptune's Harvest, which I give pretty much a glug of that every time. Don't forget to use your Epsom salts for your magnesium, borax a little bit every time. Keeps your plants nice and healthy. So real quick, we'll talk about the bushel gourd. The bushel gourd, I cut off some smaller ones. The plant is impossible to manage. It's just nuts. You get a secondary vine or a tertiary vine growing where you cut off the secondary vine, you cut that off, and then another one comes back. It's like the serpent on I'm trying to think, like Hercules, where you cut off the head and another one comes back. And remember when I said, don't bury the vines on the bushel gourd? Now, that's not necessarily a true statement because, I'm having to pull up roots. I don't think it's as big of a deal for bushel gourds, but, it helps. So this guy's rolling right along. If I had to put him at pumpkin weight, I'd say he's maybe 60 pounds or so. And I'm elevating the vine. That's one thing I'm trying to do more this year, is elevate the main vine. So the main vine here, oops, I don't know why it flipped around. So that's the main vine, which is continuing to grow all the way down there, and who knows where it's at this point. So yeah, I would say that's 60-ish pounds or so, maybe 40. We'll call it 40. And I'm going to try and just do my best to keep that vine elevated. I did set it on its butt because I like them grown that way. Probably not, the best thing to do, but hey, that's just how I do it. And then as far as keeping track of pumpkins goes, my cheat sheet I made for myself, so I can take that around. So I have all my pumpkins here, and I start weighing them, and I do weekly intervals for my averages. But usually I'll weigh every few days just because I want to, so I can see when I have like 30-pound days versus 20-pound days, and then that helps me kind of isolate what I did on that day, which was a good thing, and I need to do more of it. So I'm going to walk to the back, and we'll talk about that one. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to talk about the plants itself and then the pumpkins, because I've had some people just want to know more about the plants. The 2118 Barren plant looks real good. This is not powdery mildew. Knock on wood, I haven't had any powdery mildew yet. I should have showed you what I'm spraying with to keep the powdery mildew, but it's a neem oil kind of product. So it's not like super nasty like Eagle 20 is. The stump on this guy, who's calling me? Stump on this guy is looking good. Trying to keep it clean, you know, just nice big stump on there. Looking pretty solid. The leaves on this one are kind of flopping off each side of the main vine, which is interesting. So let's go look at the pumpkin. All right, so here is the barren. The barren was right in front of the fan when it was little, so it got kind of battered. The pumpkin got battered by the leaves a little bit, but I'm really thinking that this pumpkin might be a wheel, which is awesome because that's by far my favorite shape of pumpkin. It's tall, it's narrow, looks like it's got the makings of a wheel. So 2118 is 23 days old today. It is 150 pounds. The last week, which for this is only 5 days since I've measured it, so the last 5 days it's been 16 pounds per day for a total 5-day gain of 83 pounds. That might be, I haven't looked on my spreadsheet, but that's probably the best 20-ish pound. Yeah, we're on day 23, so that's probably the biggest day 20 to day 23 gain out of all of them is the 2118 Barren. So that's exciting. I'm excited about the shape. Wheels typically go heavy. I am working on keeping this one from kinking itself and pushing itself off the vine. That is an issue, and I will make sure I come out here tomorrow to straighten that out. Let's go look at the 1911. Oh, and let me show you. I've been on top of my weeds this year and random stragglers, but for the most part, the pumpkin patch is fairly weed free, which I'm pretty happy about because I want to keep the greenhouse fairly ship shape. It's windy outside. It's really windy outside right now, so that's what that noise is. The stump on the 1911, smaller than the 2118. Pinch off that growth, but still, you know, substantial. I can't get my hand around it. So looking real good. The plant itself is real healthy. These leaves are showing a little bit of age, but it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let me make my way over to that fruit. Okay, this is, I didn't mention it, but these sunflowers, though, they were fun to do, and I do like growing sunflowers. Now it's huge, so they're just kind of getting in the way. Unfortunately, it's in the greenhouse, so these won't be pollinated because there's pretty much no bugs in here. All right, so 1911, 32 days old right now, 32, weighing an estimated 427 pounds. The past 7 days, it's averaged 30 pounds per day. Now, you know, that's deceptive because there's days where it's done more and days where it's done less. I think I really need to do a better job at watering the back half of the plant. It's not as easy for me to get over there, and I do need to install a third hose over here so I can cover the plant fully. I thought I'd be able to pull the hose like across the plants, but the hose sags and I don't want to rip up my leaf. So an improvement for next year, which I could do now. It's easy, but you know, at this point I'm kind of in cruise control. I want to let the pumpkins do what they're going to do and leave it at that. So this week it grew, past 7 days it grew 212 pounds. This is the winner. This is the winner for weekly gains, 1911 crossed with the 1938. The 1938 is close by, so we can go over here because I am filling in the back of the plant. This is the main vine, which is just about done. I've got a few secondary vines filling in there. Those will all get stopped this week. So, you know, the plant is, this 1911 is probably towards the back, 24 foot wide, and it's about 30 feet long. The stump on the 1938 Urena is impressive, and I'm out here, it seems like every other day, pulling off some growth from this guy, just because it just wants to grow. So I'm getting all that off. Since I'm here, it'll save me a trip. There we go. The stump on this guy is impressive. Yeah, so that's a full That's a full Coke can diameter. And then the stump, you know, going down is big. The plant, the leaves are good. You know, these ones, as all the others, showing a little bit of age, but I mean, that's not to be unexpected. And walk back over. Yeah, I'm walking on the dirt. I just gotta traverse this as quickly as possible sometimes, and I don't want to scratch up my legs on these pumpkin plants. So this pumpkin, you know, I don't know. I was expecting better, and I was kind of gosh darning it a little bit, but it's coming back. It thumps. It sounds kind of hollow. I'm not in love with that. But 1938, today's 30 days old. 320 estimated pounds for an average of 22 pounds per day. And this week it grew 156 pounds. So when I was weighing it earlier in the week, most of the time I was lucky if it was doing, you know, 20 pounds per day. But the last few days, it's really kind of, I think it's cranked it up a little bit, and it's doing closer to 30. I hope. That would be really nice, because this one is the best plant, the biggest plant I've ever had by many factors over. So I'll be really interested to see what the 1911 ultimately ends up being, because the 1911 crossed with this one, you know, it's a genetic powerhouse combination. So I'm really hoping that this one will have long growth, maybe not like 30 pounds a day for 2 weeks, but I would be fine with 25 pound per day for 2 months, and that would beat, you know, fast growth. Slow and steady wins the race. Hopefully that one wins the slow and steady race. And then last but not least, you can see the bushel gourd plant is desperately trying to make it over here, and I'm just, every day it seems like I'm whacking back some of those vines to keep it from taking over the pumpkin plant. This one's looking good. I do have some stress on my stem here, which I'm, you know, alleviating. You can see I severed these roots down here, and I've done the same, and I'm trying to, you know, keep the vine as stress-free as possible. But as it grows up, you know, it's gonna have to start pushing up, and I'll need to sever that root back there. Real pretty pumpkin. I nicked it right here like a goofball. I had my tape. I was measuring it a few days ago, and there were some flies on it, and I whacked it with that flexible tape, and it put that nick in it. I was like, mother trucker, stupid flies. Okay, so 1501 is 31 days old, estimating at 347 pounds. 7-day average 23 pounds for a growth of 167 pounds for the week. And this one's been real steady at about 23 pounds per day. The color on it's going to be phenomenal. I think I crossed this with the 1938 as well. I almost wish I would have selfed this one or 1911'd it. I forget what I crossed this with. It's recorded on my Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page if you want to see more detailed information. The plant on this one, the stump is the smallest stump. It's the normal sized, kind of smaller size stump. The plant, this is my favorite plant. Look how it's just compact. The leaves aren't overly humongous like the other ones. You know, they're 2 foot across. These are all real nice 12-inch, 16-inch leaves. It just looks great. So, you know, this could be a really good cross too, because those pumpkins aren't bad as far as orange goes. So if we could see them, but they're not going to be like as orange as this one. So if I could get some of those characteristics in orange with some of the more giant characteristics of these guys, you know, this could be a great cross too. Look at that pretty orange pumpkin. Hopefully those ribs start to get more pronounced. And yeah, so I think that is about it. 14 minutes, just like I said. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, comment below. I was happy to see Mick put out a video this week. Bubba at Secret Garden making videos every week too. I want to take a page out of Growing Giants video channel where they do guesses. So let's the 1911. Comment below what you think that is going to weigh next week. So yeah, next Tuesday, if you are the closest one, it doesn't matter. We're not going to do prices right method. Closest one, period, to the correct weight of that one will give you, I think I still have some Colorado Giants t-shirts. So I'll give you a shirt, no promises on I have the right size, but it's a free shirt. I'll ship it to you. And don't complain about a free gift for correct guess. And there's the stump on the 1501, which, you know, like compared to the other ones, I can fit my whole hand around that. The other one's not even close, and the plant looks great. Interesting thing, you can see the fans coming down, and that does tatter the plants a little bit, but I think it's worth it. And yeah, that's it, everybody. Appreciate you watching. Again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment below if you have any questions. Also, your guess on the 1911. I almost forgot to tell you the names. That one is Vacuum. So my son has been obsessed with vacuums lately, so we're going to call that one Vacuum, or as he pronounces it, Vacuum. And then we still have to name the other three, but the 1911 is the Vacuum. Hopefully it sucks up all the water and becomes giant sized, and maybe Vacuum will finally win me a way off, not second place or below like I usually get. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.